Dear friends, I have been engaging you through the past several weeks through my Saturday Wisdom episodes. The purpose is twofold. One is to inform you of the technology and the changes that are happening in the world around us, in our midst, and the other is to make you think. I am interested in the second and want you to converse with me with your inputs and challenge me with your wisdom. That I believe will enrich my own understanding of the subject and the various perspectives that are there to it. This week, I would like to address the parents and their wards or children and bring their notice to the perils of using the internet. I am not advocating no use of internet. Internet is a very useful tool, but the safeguards must be there too. I would just ask the parents to be aware, to be alive to the environment, and to be concerned with whatever that might be happening in the children's lives. So parents, did you ever know or make attempts to know what your children see, what your child is seeing and hearing on the internet, who they meet on the internet, and what they share with others again on the internet? Technology is a friend only if you let it to be so. It can be your worst enemy too. Inappropriate content, bullying, and online predators. They're all real. Predators, through various applications, can easily pry into websites that the children may be watching and interact with them. How? They pose as a child or a teen looking to make new friends. They might prod your child to exchange personal information such as addresses and phone numbers, or encourage them to call them, noting the phone number via the caller ID. The harm that these actions cause is unfortunately only the beginning. There are many things that can follow. Past couple of years, every one of us has been living online. We working from home online, our children learning from home online, teachers teaching online, we trading goods online, and everything else that comes to mind going online. That was the pressure that we had to undergo during the COVID times. It must be an irony of times that though everyone was bound home, not many would honestly agree that they interacted with each other in those times, since they had time and the means, let alone a friendly monitoring of what the children were up to on their laptop screens or what they were doing with their smartphones. Unfortunately, we were all glued onto our own devices and had no time to interact with each other. Some children did learn dancing. They also spent time bird watching, playing some musical instruments, or even learning to play one, or indulged in arts and crafts. There were many others who secretly surfed unwanted content and may have been maimed, which would take a lot of time to come out of and which would take a long time to heal. Though the acts may have provided some relief, Do they really provide succor for the damage to the psyche of a child? Now that the pandemic seems to be on an extended mission of its own, or even if it is on the wane, since the risks are always there, can we have a list of do's and don'ts for children and parents to follow? Let's see. For a beginning, can the children start following the family rules and those set by the internet service provider? Can we build a discipline not to post or trade personal pictures, personal information and so on? Never to reveal personal information, like I said. On a personal note, can you only use a screen name and not share passwords other than with your parents? Don't ever agree to get together in person with anyone whom you meet online without your parents' approval and supervision. Do not ever respond to a threatening mail, message, post or text. Confide immediately and always in your parents about any communication or conversation that was scary or hurtful. Your parents are your best friends, right? Now for the parents. Have you as a parent ever looked for warning signs of your child being targeted by an online predator? Your child may be spending long hours online, especially at night, may receive phone calls from people you do not know, may even receive unsolicited gifts through mail. Your child may suddenly turn off the computer when you walk into the room or withdraw from family life and may be reluctant to discuss online activities or even anything about their personal life. Why not keep a line of communication open and make sure they feel comfortable turning to you when faced with problems online? You must find time to read and understand the Ministry of Home Affairs released handbook for adolescents, students on cyber safety, and check their Twitter handle at CyberDost. It does get a little trickier to monitor as your children grow older, as your kids get older. How do you monitor their online activity when they carry a smartphone all the time? They probably want and need some privacy. This is healthy and normal as they become independent. Internet can provide a safe virtual environment for exploring some newfound freedom only as long as adequate precautions are taken. But do discuss online experiences and the dangers of interacting with strangers online. Did you know that we have a Children's Act 2004 that predicts or protects the interests of children and young people? However, this could be neither here nor there. The Information Technology Act 2000 and Indian Penal Code 1860 also deal with cyber crime in the country. Multiple sections of the IT Act related to digital data, electronic devices and cyber crimes was amended in 2008. That act provides for several penalties. Let's look at some of those penalties to understand the IT Act a little better. Unauthorized access to data and damaging of computer or computer networks. Wide Section 43. Compensation for the failure of data protection. Wide Section 43A. Punishment extending up to 3 years or fine which may extend up to 1 lakh of rupees for identity theft. Why section 66C? I have informed you what identity theft is in my earlier video on digital fraud. Punishment extending up to 3 years or fine extending up to 2 lakh rupees for violation of Privacy Act section 66E. Punishment for publishing, browsing or transmitting child pornography in electronic form via section 67B. Even as Indian Penal Code 1860 through sections 354A and 354D provide punishment for cyberbullying and cyber stacking against women, there are no specific provisions for cyber crime against children. Those cyber crimes like child trafficking, cyberbullying, pornography and identity thefts have some remedies. Application of appropriate provisions of law and conducting and concluding them into punishable offences can be really vexing. To the credit of the government, the Ministry of Home Affairs did launch a scheme titled Cyber Crime Prevention Against Women and Children, CCPWC, under which an online national cyber crime reporting portal www.cybercrime.gov.in was launched in September 2018 to enable people to report cases pertaining to child pornography, child sexual abuse material, rape, gang rape, images or sexually explicit content. It's extremely useful to understand these provisions and the availability of those provisions in case of difficulty. However, this only empowers to lodge complaints anonymously or through the report and track option, which necessitates more amendments to our laws. They must be more enabling. Is it the time we drafted an exclusive Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, like that existing in US, which helps protect kids younger than 13 when they are online? Maybe we need change in rules. It bars anyone from getting a child's personal information without a parent knowing about it and agreeing to it first. Further, it prohibits a site from seeking any extra information than necessary to play a game or enter a contest. The EdTech companies too have a value proposition here. They must be encouraged to develop effective IT tools to control the kids' access to adult material and help protect them from internet predators. Some internet service providers, or ISPs as we know them, may provide parent control options, but is hardly explored by the parents. Again, information, knowledge is a problem. Parents must also ensure use of software that blocks access to certain sites and restrict personal information from being sent online, and use such programs that monitor and track the online activity. It is always important to block objectionable material and teach kids safe and responsible online behavior, and keep an eye on their internet use than cry over spilt milk. Remember the proverbs: prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time several saves 9, and so on. All this we must have studied when we were in schools. Technology helps us if we respect rules. It can punish us if we manipulate it. So friends, that's the wisdom for the Saturday, and hope to meet you the next Saturday with another of my Saturday Wisdom talks. Until then, thank you, Dhanyavad and Namaskar.